Hey, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. My name is XD. Welcome to my home studio. So today I'm going to be reviewing my ROKIT 5 studio monitors. They're really awesome monitors. I can't wait to share with you how they sound and everything I know about them so far. So let's get into it. So this is what the speakers look like right in the front right here. So I love the design in the front where I'm actually going to start. I used the generation before these ones here, so I can draw a clear comparison. I really love that they added the yellow cone on the tweeter right here. It looks really nice, and I just love how the face looks because it's very identifiable. That's the word I'm looking for. Identifiable from a distance. You can tell what kind of speaker this is, and you can tell it's a KRK before you even see the logo. The KRK system is here, and I love the texture that they have here on the big cone here. So this is a 5-inch cone here, right here, that you can see here. I'm pretty sure that's the diameter here. It might be 4 point something, I don't know, but that's the speaker here. I really like it, but that's the face, and then you can see here that it's front ported, so the air that's coming from inside the speaker is being pushed out of the front here, which is nice because these are near field monitors, so you want them close to you, and that's why I chose them, because they were like that. So that is basically the front. Now let me show you what's in the back behind it. All right, so now we can take a look at the back of the speaker here, and this is like the most exciting thing for me because I've used so many other speakers before. I've used, like I told you, the previous generation of the ROKITs, and I've also used Yamahas and other monitors as well. But what really got me excited right here is the little screen that they have at the back here. So right now you can see it's off. If I turn it on, if I turn the power on right here, you can see there's a screen here, and I love this because at first I thought that you could only find this screen on like the bigger models like the 7s or the 8-inch versions of this monitor line, but you also find it on the 5-inch, which is really great. I really love that, right? So over here obviously you have your volume, and you can also like tune your studio monitors here depending on your room. So right here on the screen, on the menu, you have your EQ settings, you have your setup, and then you can just move back here. I really wish it was a touch screen, bro. That would have been really cool, but it's not. You use this dial here. So in the EQ settings, if you come here, you have your low EQ, which is some presets that you can use here. And if I pick this one, you can see how the EQ changes here. So that's a boost. And if I go all the way like this to the shelf, you can see what it's doing here. So I can also move to the next section here, and I can do the same thing. And then I can change the EQ setting of the speaker, so that's what you can do. Or I can just put them on flat, which is where I usually just leave it. And then I just come here on back, and then that's it. And right here on setup, if you can take a look, you can see that it's just the setup for this LCD. So you got the backlight, you've got the contrast, and standby modes and things like that, because there's a light in front there, so it's what you play with. So you also have the logo on and off on the thing, and then factory reset to just reset the whole thing, but I just leave them as they are. But I really love this, although I'm not sure exactly how it's connected to the speaker itself. Let's say this has a malfunction, I would also maybe like a way where I can just skip the LCD thing, because it's electrical, it's electronic, and sometimes having complicated things like this might actually become a problem later on. But that's just me nitpicking at this point. So obviously connection wise, you can see I have an XLR connection here that I'm using to connect my audio from my audio interface. My audio interface is an Evo 4 that you can see right here. That's where I have my connection. As you can see, you can connect this XLR on here, or you can even use a 1/4 inch, because it also has a hole for a 1/4 inch here, so you can have those connections there. So I'm just going to put this one back in, and then all you have as well is just the power, which is down here, which is the cable that's here, and that's the back. So I want to quickly talk about how these speakers sound, because for me, my first experience with them was I bought them used. I actually bought these not brand new, but I bought them used, which is what I recommend for a lot of musicians, especially if you're starting out, because a lot of us are not really making money with our music to really justify some of these expensive equipment that we need to buy. So I always recommend people buying a budget and buying cheap, and these are a really good budget friendly pair of studio monitors if you're in the market for them. And listen, I'm not trying to push you to use any links, or am I being paid by the people at ROKIT KRK systems. I'm not being paid. I'm just sharing what I know based off what I have in my studio here, and I definitely do recommend these, especially if you're on a budget. They really sound good. So my first first time listening to them was in the store when I was going to go buy them, and I couldn't really listen well to them because all I was just worried about is, you know, do they sound good? Are both of the pair working well? Are they balanced enough? And is every bell and whistle on them, especially the knobs and everything, working well? So that's what I was worrying about, but I couldn't really have a chance to have like critical listening for me to, you know, draw a comparison from my previous Yamaha speakers to these ones, you know, at that moment. So it was just a surface level, you know, listening to the speakers, and that's what usually happens, you know, in this case, unless if you're lucky enough to have people who are patient and you're also not in a rush to take a listen before you actually purchase the speakers themselves. But from listening to them for a while now here in my studio, and I listen to music and, you know, I watch videos and things like that, I will say these speakers sound really amazing. They sound really good. One thing I was really worried about was the bass, because as obviously you can tell, they're really small speakers, not the smallest of studio monitors you can get out there, but they are fairly small compared to the ones I had previously. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they sound really good. They sound really, really good. Like the highs are clear. The mids are kind of questionable, to be honest with you. The mids are always tricky when it comes to studio monitors for me. The Yamahas have clear mids that I've checked, and these ones, they're kind of a little bit behind, but nothing much to complain about there for me, to be honest. I can work with the mids that they have here. When it comes to the bass, that's where you start to, you know, see the kind of the slight drawback of these speakers, the fact that the bass is not a lot of it, but there is some bass. That I will let you know. There is bass on these speakers, so you don't have to worry about, you know, not having bass. But obviously if you want like those low sub frequencies, that's when you're gonna really have to think about getting something bigger or adding a subwoofer. Like for me, my plan has always been to get a subwoofer, but my problem was the subwoofers are expensive, man. They're truly expensive, especially for the Yamaha speakers that I had before. They cost a lot themselves, the studio monitors, and then now I have to factor in adding on a subwoofer on top of that. That was just going to be a cost I couldn't justify personally. So that's why I wanted to buy these, and then at least I can justify buying a subwoofer that goes well with these speakers, and then put it under my desk, and I know that I have the whole sound frequencies because I have good highs, I have good mids. I just, you know, I might just need some of that really boomy low end that, you know, that you want to really feel when you're working on your music. So overall, these are really good. I didn't want to go on like a big super technical review because I'm not that guy. You know, it's nice to check out things like this and, you know, see how you feel about them, and also how you start to understand them as time goes. So maybe I might come back with an update later on, but that's how I feel exactly about the speakers where they are right now. So for me, this is definitely my budget recommendation for studio monitors right now that you want to get. So for this section of the video, I want to do an audio test, and I obviously know that if I'm going to be doing an audio test, especially when talking about speakers, it's going to be awkward because I'm going to have to record through the sound through a mic and then YouTube compression, and it really doesn't make any sense. But I'm just going to do this just in case you want to really hear how these speakers sound, and I'll just do the best as I can to play some music, and then you can listen to the sound of the speakers, you know, with me playing them live, so that, you know, you can have an idea of how they sound, if that will make any sense at all. So let's do it. Yeah, so that's basically the audio test. I just wanted to do that. I love this track, by the way, but let's continue with the video. If you can afford new studio monitors, by all means you can buy them. It's your money, obviously, but for someone who's in a situation like me where, you know, you really have to make sense and you're always on a limited budget, these will be the best choice that you want to take. And for me, I really do not regret buying them. And sound wise, like I said, you get a really big sound from these speakers. For the size, it's truly surprising, but you really get a big sound. You get all the frequencies that you need, you get all the bass, and if you feel like you're still not sure about the bass that you're hearing here, you can definitely put on some headphones, or you can just reference anywhere else, because that's what I do when it comes to making my music. I try and reference in different places so that I can hear other frequencies, and I can listen to the music I make here in my home studio in other environments, so I can just check on them. But studio monitors are are just speakers at the end of the day. So even if you don't have studio monitors, headphones still work fine. And you let me know down below what kind of speakers you're using right now. Are you just using headphones, or you're using studio monitors, and what model you're using as well? And if you have any questions about these speakers that you want me to answer, you can drop them down below in the comment. I'll definitely answer you. But thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to make a brief review of the speakers themselves and just let you know how it feels, so that you don't see them in my videos and you're like, yo, the new speakers, we want to know about them. This is the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, like and subscribe. I'm X and I'm out. Peace.